Good evening and welcome back to Etown News. I'm Molly Finkin.
And I'm Katie Hartman. New York City trip, Tempest Theater show, and more coming up after this.
Visit the High Library today for a sneak peek at its brand new classification system. This summer, the High Library is turning over a new leaf. Librarians are working to reclassify books from the Dewey Decimal System to the Library of Congress system. The shift will increase browsability and make researching titles a breeze. Check out the sample display on the main floor of the library by the stairs.
Pack your bags and join the Etown Center for Community and Civic Engagement on a road trip. They're traveling to New York City on April 10th for a full day of Big Apple activities. There will be 3 tours of different cultural areas. They'll be seeing the African Burial Ground National Monument, the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture, and a heritage tour of Harlem. Also, a trip to Broadway to see MJ the Musical. Tickets cost $150, which includes meals. There's a limited number of spots open, so sign up on the Civic Engagements website as soon as possible. Registration ends on March 27th.
A.S. King, an award-winning young adult author, will visit Etown for an exciting guest lecture. Head to the High Auditorium next Wednesday at 7 p.m. to learn more about King's career journey and hear an excerpt from her latest novel. King will also lead a discussion and share helpful advice about the publishing process. Following the discussion, there will be an opportunity for a book signing. The event is free and open to the public. You can register using the link below.
Etown Pride is back, and so are the Campus Queens. The drag show is returning for its 5th year next week. It honors the history of LGBTQ students at Elizabethtown and showcases performances from the community. The show will take place in the Cave next Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. If you're interested in learning more about the event, you can check out the event on the Etown Engagement Instagram.
Looking for some fun weekend plans? Come out to support the Tempest Theater on their opening weekend of She Kills Monsters. The show tells a heartwarming tale of friendship and acceptance. It is an action-packed story that follows a woman navigating the loss of her sister. Opening night is tonight at 7:30 p.m. Other shows will be performed on Saturday at 7:30 p.m. and on Sunday at 3 p.m. The show will close next weekend. Tickets are $8 for students, faculty, and senior citizens, and $10 for general admission. Tickets can be purchased at the door or online. Now here's Nathan Hoffer with your weekly sports update.
Thanks, Katie. Starting off with one of the biggest stories of the year, Gannon Smith is officially the D3 national runner-up in the 184-pound class. The senior competed in the championships in Cedar Rapids, Iowa last Saturday and came away with 2nd place. He steamrolled all of his opponents to reach the final, where he fell to Casey Ross of Wartburg. The 2nd place finish is the best for Etown since 2010. This incredible feat concludes his amazing career at Elizabethtown as he leaves the school's all-time leader in wins. The baseball team swept Lycoming in a doubleheader last Sunday. They took an early lead in the game, won, and held on to win 4-3. Logan Burns threw 5 strikeouts in the win, along with strong batting performances from Parker Summers and Tommy Kanakos. The Blue Jays entered the 9th inning of Game 2 tied 3-3, but a grand slam from Nick Florini, along with a few other runs, gave the Blue Jays a 9-3 victory. The team is in action tomorrow against Drew. Following 2 hard-fought games, the men's volleyball team split their doubleheader against St. John Fisher and Bethany. In the first match against St. John Fisher, the Blue Jays entered the 5th game tied 2-2, where Etown fell just short, losing by 4 points. Aron Gopinith had 13 kills, 2 blocks, and an ace, while Mason Boyer had 8 kills and 3 blocks. Patrick Nyer led the team with 23 assists. The second game was much better for the Jays. They swept Bethany with ease, allowing only 60 points in 3 sets. Reed Maas had 9 kills, followed by Samuel Ulrich with 8. Hugh Rogers helped out with 19 assists and 0 errors. Next up, Keene University tonight at 6 p.m. in Union, New Jersey. Women's lacrosse suffered a tough loss on Saturday to Lebanon Valley College, falling 16-6. Both teams scored 3 first-quarter goals, but LVC went on to score 11 in the second third, while Etown only had 1. Haley Myers and Ella Schloss each had 2 goals, while Alyssa Golbanek and Drew Bridge scored 1. The team is now 4-2 as they look to bounce back tomorrow against Susquehanna. The softball and men's lacrosse teams were out of action between our recordings, but you can catch both teams playing this Saturday. March Madness tipped off yesterday with the round of 64 underway. Duke is the current favorite to win it all, followed by Arizona, Michigan, and Florida. Some of the other teams just on the outside of the bubble include Houston, Iowa State, Illinois, UConn, and Arkansas. Millions of brackets have been created by fans worldwide, but we're still waiting to see a perfect bracket. Could this be the year it finally happens? The United States World Classic baseball team fell just short of gold, losing to Venezuela 3-2. America trailed by 2 entering the 8th inning before a clutch 2-run home run by Bryce Harper. But right when the game seemed winnable, Venezuela scored in the top of the 9th, and America was unable to answer, ending their run. The team was counting on Aaron Judge to pull through, but he went 0 for 4, striking out 3 times. The U.S. will still have a chance for redemption in 2030 when the next World Baseball Classic takes place. That's it for sports. Now over to Jaime Gallick with the weekly weather watch.
Thanks, Nathan. Well, Jays, despite a few warm days, we haven't seen the last of the cold weather. Expect cool highs in the 40s and 50s for most of the week. Today, Friday the 20th, calls for mostly cloudy weather with a high of 52 and a low of 37. Saturday will be mostly the same. Expect cloudy weather with a high of 50 and a low of 31. Temperatures will drop on Sunday with a high of 44 and a cool low of 28 in the early morning hours. Monday will be only slightly warmer with a high of 47 and a low of 32. Expect partly cloudy weather once again. Tuesday calls for another cloudy day with a high of 51 and a low of 32. And finally, Wednesday and Thursday will be mostly the same with respective highs of 51 and 49 and lows of 32. Expect cloudy weather on both days. That's all for this week's Weather Watch. I'm Jaime Gallick. Now back to Molly and Katie in the studio.
The ongoing war between the U.S. and the Iranian Republic continues to intensify as it enters its 4th week. Last week, President Donald Trump announced that U.S. forces had destroyed Iran's largest oil export site. A U.S. military official also said nearly 3,000 more Marines were being sent to the Middle East as the fighting continues. As of recording, officials have noted nearly 2,000 civilian casualties, including 175 schoolgirls killed in a missile strike. The U.S. military says 7 servicemen have been killed. Record high winds left thousands without power and property damage in their wake. Last weekend, high winds made their way eastward from the Great Lakes region. Nearly 500,000 people were without power in Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Michigan, according to a nationwide outage tracker. The National Weather Service says a 66-mile-per-hour gust in Pittsburgh was the strongest wind on record not caused by a thunderstorm. In Cleveland, wind gusts hit nearly 90 miles per hour. The high winds caused wildfires across Nebraska's grassland region, claiming 1 life. A number of Asian countries are facing challenges as the U.S.-Iranian conflict continues to escalate. The effective closure of the Strait of Hormuz is having a massive impact on Asian oil prices. Unlike the U.S. of Europe, Asia heavily relies on oil exports that pass through the strait. Officials in several Asian countries have put emergency measures in place to deal with the panic buying among citizens. Research lists Singapore, South Korea, and Pakistan among the most affected countries.
The 98th Academy Awards took place last Sunday, honoring the top movies and actors of 2025. One battle after another won the most Oscars of the night with 6, including Best Director for Paul Thomas Anderson. Sinners followed with 4 awards, including Best Actor won by Michael B. Jordan. Jessie Buckley won Best Actress for Hamlet, while Amy Madigan took home Best Supporting Actress for her work in Weapons. Leaving the night empty-handed was an A24 film, Marty Supreme. Despite stellar reviews and a lot of awards hype, the movie fell short in all of its categories. Chelsea Handler revealed she purchased a house from Secretary of Health Robert Kennedy Jr. that she describes as toxic. The comedian bought the Los Angeles home in 2021, but it was not what she expected. She claims there were significant issues with the foundation and a legal outdoor storage unit. She even has far to say the home was cursed. Despite the poor condition, Handler still owns the house but has never lived there. After co-hosting Showtime at the Apollo for 15 years, Kiki Shepard has passed away at the age of 74. The TV personality was a staple in the variety show that featured performers across various disciplines. Some of her other roles were in shows such as Everybody Hates Chris, NYPD Blue, and Grey's Anatomy. She was a big advocate for sickle cell disease, dedicating part of her life to raising awareness for the disease. According to a statement from her family and charity, she died from a heart attack.
That's all for this week, Jays. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at ECTV40 for all of our latest updates on our shows. I'm Katie Hartman.
And I'm Molly Finkin. Have a great week, and remember to
Take flight, Etown.